Hey everybody, Munna786 here again with my next video on the Destiny Super Good Advice series. This time I'm going to be talking about my Titan Striker build for PvP. As usual, I'm going to begin with the class build itself and then move on to my armor build specifically tailored to my weapons and playstyle. Starting from left to right, once again the grenades are an integral and strong part of this build. However, I'll be discussing two slightly different builds. For me, the obvious choice for a striker is to use lightning grenades. The reason I prefer this grenade is because it can be used both offensively and defensively in almost any game mode. Sticking them to walls, or rather almost any surface, places a barrier between yourself and the enemy. When tossed correctly and often at very odd angles, it damages the enemies, giving you a big advantage to taking them out quicker. However, the flashbang grenade is very useful when playing 3v3 matches like Trials. You're able to disorient the enemy and get a push on them safely, especially when you've hit multiple targets. The flashbang fits very well when using the Twilight Garrison chest piece to dodge and skate your way forward. Next is the jump. First, I'll mention the option you should never choose in Crucible: increased height. This leaves you vulnerable in the air much longer than you need to be, and you are an almost guaranteed kill for the enemy. My preferred choice is increased control, even when using Twilight Garrison. It gives you the mobility to jump and twist in the air to get off shotgun shots, as well as move to safety if necessary. Finally, the famed catapult. The increased momentum has seen a ninja nerf by Bungie, whereby the Titan skate is not as viable as it used to be. The momentum burst now provides more vertical lift rather than the horizontal skate most strikers chased after. For the Fist of Havoc Super, I tend to switch between Aftermath and Shockwave depending on what game mode I'm playing. Most times I use Shockwave as it has ridiculous forward reach and is able to kill targets who think they are too far away. However, in Control or Salvage, when you need to keep an enemy out of his zone for even a few seconds, Aftermath is the way to go. Unsuspecting Guardians creep in looking for the quick dismantle or capture and just wind up dead. I also tend to use Aftermath more often when using the Twilight Garrison chess piece. For the T-Rex Stormfist Titan melee, I always choose Discharge. The area of effect damage dealt to Guardians allows you to kill them even when damaged only slightly. In addition, it also damages other nearby Guardians, allowing you to often enough get secondary follow-through kills. For the next three columns, my goal is to balance agility and armor with a sacrifice to recovery, and I'll explain why. Being able to block off hallways with lightning grenades, and also being able to evade to safety with the Twilight Garrison, a little sacrifice can be made to recovery time. In the middle of these three are two important perks I alternate. First is the Aftershocks, which should always be used when using Aftermath. It allows the Aftershocks in the ground to reverberate longer, forcing enemies out of a zone for even longer periods of time. In addition to this, it also allows lightning grenades to last longer when stuck onto walls. The second perk is Transfusion, which regenerates health on a shoulder charge or Stormfist kill. This should always be used when using the shoulder charge perk in the final column. Now moving on to the final column, Shoulder Charge, when done right, allows you to get quick kills in tricky situations. If you're able to glide or run your way to the enemy, and Twilight Garrison helps a lot here, you'll be able to shoulder charge your way through them, and even recover your health back on the kill when using the Transfusion perk with it. However, as most people say, I'm a Juggernaut scumbag using the Juggernaut shield on my striker while shotgunning my way through my enemies. But don't feel discouraged, Juggernaut is a very viable option, even when not using a shotgun. The shield is able to tank a whole Golden Gun bullet, which has saved me on countless times. In the end, regardless of the two perks I'm using, Juggernaut or Shoulder Charge, during Trials, once I get my super and I know I'm ready to use it, I switch to Unstoppable between rounds. This ensures I don't get killed off easily while I'm about to smash the enemies to bits. To summarize, these are the two builds I use depending on which chess piece I'm using. If I'm using the Armamentarium with the double grenades, I use the Lightning Grenade, Shockwave, Discharge, Aftershocks for the Lightning Grenade, and Juggernaut. If I'm switching to the Twilight Garrison, I keep Lightning Grenades, Shockwave, and Discharge, but I change Aftershocks to Transfusion and Juggernaut to Shoulder Charge. Moving on to my actual gear, as you can see on this build here, I primarily prefer to use pulse rifles, shotguns, and rockets in the Crucible, so I've tailored my armor build directly to this. First, the two main goals as a striker is to have your slam ready as soon as possible, as well as to get your grenades back as fast as possible. With this in mind, I've created a 5.5.2 build for my striker, however I used a 5.5.1 for a long time before I got this current set. Starting with the helmet, there are a multitude of perks which could fall, so the ones to look for are Infusion and Better Already, both of which regenerate health and shield on orb pickup. Also, to strengthen this build further, Ashes to Assets is great since it provides bonus super energy on grenade kills. For my gauntlets, I use Pulse Rifle Loader since my primary weapon of choice is a Pulse Rifle. I also have Rain Blows, which increase melee attack speed for those close combat quick melees after the first area of effect attack, extremely useful when surrounded by multiple enemies. Now to the Armamentarium Exotic. The Exotic perk gives you double grenades, which is extremely useful in the Crucible. I almost always have a grenade ready to throw. I then used Glass Needles from Xur until I rolled decent stat perks. I also look for the Special Ammo perk to make sure I always have my shotgun loaded and ready. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the final column to roll with the Arc Armor perk, but I didn't mind as I sometimes use these on my Sunbreaker class as well. Switching these to the Twilight Garrison Exotic gives you the ability to evade mid-air. This is extremely useful when used in conjunction with the Shoulder Charge perk on the Subclass build. Similarly, I use Glass Needles from Xur until I rolled decent stat perks, and once again, I also look for special ammo to make sure I always have my shotgun loaded and ready. For my boots, I chose one that provide bonus rocket ammo as well as increased agility after arc double kill. This comes quite useful after a slam and you need a quick getaway from enemies. Last of all, I chose my Ghost, Mark, and Artifact in order to build my Tier 12 552 build. Their perks are generally less significant, however, choosing a class item with Crucible Reputation Booster is always a bonus, and the Artifact with the reduction damage over time is another bonus as well. Well, that's all for today, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, then please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this on other social media. Once again, this is Munna, and I'll see you next time.